Good evening, everyone. I'm Leslie Adamy. Mike has the night off. A group of city leaders and officials representing local organizations just returned from a trip to Washington, D.C. This marks Mayor Paulette Guajardo's second trip to the Capitol, where she says the main focus has been securing federal dollars for water projects. Natalia Zuna caught up with city leaders who say that some federal funding could be at risk. Natalia?
Hey, Leslie. Well, both Guajardo and Barrera tell me that a big focus of those talks with congressmen and senators was the Inner Harbor Desalination Project and explaining why the council voted to table it until September 1st. Now, Mayor Guajardo says that in order to secure millions of dollars of federal funding in August, the city would have to move up the next Inner Harbor desal vote. With City Council voting to delay the Inner Harbor Desalination Project, again, key federal water dollars could be hanging in the balance.
We talked about lots of different things, but of course, water's the most thing talked about in Washington, D.C. when it comes to Corpus Christi.
After returning from a trip to the nation's capital for the annual Coastal Bend to D.C. advocacy trip, Mayor Paulette Guajardo says her focus was assuring federal officials that the project remains on the table.
There was a little bit of damage control that we had to do and explain and reiterate that regardless, the city is still moving forward with this project, and it is going to come back for a vote, and there will be no more time for delays.
Council members tabled the vote for September 1st, but Guajardo says that if they want millions of dollars of federal funding, that timeline won't work.
Application through the Water Smart funding, which is through the Bureau of Reclamation. In order for us to officially ask for monies, we have to fill that application out, and that deadline is August 26th. So the September 1 deadline that the council recently delayed the vote until is going to have to move up.
City Councilman Roland Barrera, the only other council member who voted to move forward with the project, also went on the trip.
They're quite puzzled as to why we couldn't unify with this to be able to move forward.
Barrera says that some federal officials believe that because the Inner Harbor desal project is fully permitted and mostly funded, it's the obvious solution.
You have all this effort from Washington, D.C. to be able to provide the city of Corpus Christi $120 million for this project, and so there's a little consternation about us making a decision and what was the reasoning behind for moving it all the way to September.
Meanwhile, Guajardo says she plans to discuss changing that timeline with council members soon.
It will be on the upcoming agenda.
So, will the date for the Inner Harbor desal vote change? Well, Mayor Guajardo says that now she has to talk with the full city council so they can decide how to move forward. We'll continue to keep you updated. Leslie.